Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Exciting times at the moment. There's a lot of things coming up. First of all, we're now trying out our new DJI Osmo Action 4. First impressions? Well, I unboxed it yesterday. I'm no tech wizard. It took me a while and a good deal of help from the Murgatroyd to download the DJI Mimo app. That was due to my ineptitude rather than any problem with the software itself. It's now downloaded. Everything seems to be working fine. First impressions are very, very good. We'd been having a lot of problems with the GoPro. We were using a Hero 9 for the last 12 months and I was consistently having problems with the battery life, with the fact that when you put the medium mod on, it would turn itself on when you just turned it off, and having put the camera away, you'd then find that you got no battery life left. So that was a problem. By all accounts, the battery life on the Osmo Action 4 is much, much better, and first impressions are that it certainly seems to be. Also, using the camera is much more intuitive than with the GoPro 9. So yeah, fingers crossed it'll all work out well. What I really love about the wireless microphone is that I can just plug a lavalier into the side of it and have it running to the helmet, rather than having the lavalier running from the medium mod on the GoPro 9 up into the helmet, and I was having to tape it all onto the side of the helmet, and it was clumsy and horrible. And the whole thing with GoPro just got to the point where it made me so angry I wanted to throw it at a wall or something like that. So anyway, going to be testing it out over the next few days. I'm going to work at the moment. I'll be working tomorrow, but on Friday I've got the whole day off, and here's where it gets really exciting. On Friday I will be going to scope out the route that the Dave Day cavalcade of motorcycles is going to take when it comes off the M6. Anybody who's not been living under a rock for the last month or two will know that Saturday coming, Saturday the 8th of June, is Dave Day. It's also D-Day, but that has very little or very limited meaning to me. Dave Myers was a great man, a motorcyclist, a chef, and very inspirational to me for those two reasons. I'm both of those things too. Thousands upon thousands of motorcycles will be travelling into Barrow-in-Furness. I suspect that Barrow-in-Furness has no real idea what is about to hit it. Current estimates suggest somewhere between 6,000 and 15,000 motorcycles turning up in Barrow. There's a day of celebration of Dave Myers' life, including a rock concert at the rugby club, which me and the Murgatroyd will be going to. What we won't be doing is riding with thousands upon thousands of other motorcyclists. That's not an experience I've ever enjoyed very much at all. So we are actually going to be on the opposite side of the road on the A590 from the M6 into Barrow, and we will be filming it, and then we're going to ride behind the convoy, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to be turning right and going to the Murgatroyd's daughter's house, where we'll be staying on Saturday night. Just realised that camera's about to get blown over by the wind. It's actually quite windy today, and certainly doesn't feel like June. It's much, much colder than it has been of late. In any event, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm on Friday, as I say, recceing the route. Hopefully I can find somewhere up on a hill where we can get the drone up and be out of the way. Apparently all of the motorcycles are being followed from London to Barrow by a helicopter, so we don't want the drone getting in the way of that. Consequences are not worth imagining. So that's what I'll be doing on Friday. Anyway, I'm off to work now, and I'll give you an update on what I think about the DJI Osmo Action 4 as we go along. Okay then, another thing that I really like about the new camera is that whereas with the GoPro Hero 9, when I had the phone fitted onto the bike here and started recording, I couldn't see what was being recorded. With this, it's just there, so I can check the camera angle and the point of view and all of the settings and adjust them all on the phone while I'm riding. Or I could if I had some touchscreen gloves. These just don't work that way. I am going to have to get some. Anyway, off we go to Ambleside. Time to go to work. So we're heading now to Coniston, and then through Coniston and on to Ambleside. About a 30-minute ride. I'm going to stop off at Yew Tree Tarn, as I normally do. Check the recording levels, camera settings, so on and so forth. Just another day at work, creating content. So those of you who've been following the channel will know that the magnificent beast here, our Yamaha XVS650, has been sat in the motorcycle shop in Staveley for the last 2 or 3 weeks, having a repair to his rear tyre after an unfortunate encounter with a roofing nail. So anyway, we're back together now and thoroughly enjoying ourselves. It was a lot of fun riding Mr. Suzuki for 2 or 3 weeks, but I did miss this thing. Passing through a little village called Torver now, and they have a biker breakfast here on a Sunday. Must check that out at some point. A word or two then about the wireless microphone. Very impressed with that. It seems to be working perfectly. I watched a tutorial on YouTube, I forget who it was by, some tech wizard, and he said it takes 3 seconds to connect this thing and it just does it itself. Well, I'm no tech wizard. It took me 23 seconds, but it was really straightforward, and it just seems, from what I can tell, to work. Well, I kind of like it when things just work. Really is feeling quite cold today. I'm beginning to wish I'd put on extra layers, but I didn't. There's also the possibility of rain on the way home tonight as well. And guess what? Somebody didn't bring their waterproofs. yeah, another comparison with the GoPro and the Osmo Action 4. One of the things that really annoyed me about the GoPro is that whilst the voice control would work when you said GoPro stop capture, but it would never work, or I could never get it to work, when you wanted to say GoPro start capture. It just didn't work. Whereas with this, it just seems to work. So the general consensus from all the videos that I've watched comparing GoPros to DJI Osmo Actions is that they are the superior product, and it certainly seems that way to me. Fold-away bikes. I think they're fold-away electric bikes. Well, here we are, once again, in Colliston. Ooh, so we went to play tennis last night when the Murgatroyd got home from work, and as usual I got absolutely hammered. Really must get fit. So a big shout out to everybody who subscribed in the last week or so. Thank you all very, very much. I do appreciate it. I believe I've now got 48 subscribers. And we've had about 3.5, getting on for 3,500 views of the various videos. So the attention is much appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed, maybe you should. What I generally do as a matter of policy is if somebody subscribes to my channel, I check out their channel and subscribe to theirs. Whether it looks as though it's the kind of thing I'd be interested in or not. You know, matter of principle in it. Let's support each other. I think most of us would rather do this with our time than go and do a job that we don't particularly like. So yeah, you know, let's support each other. Subscribe! Ooh. Human traffic control. I do like that. So much more personal than traffic lights. Although, to be fair, I wouldn't want to be the guy standing there with his little lollipop, twizzling it around all day long. It just occurred to me, had I been riding Mr. Suzuki this morning, there's no way these cars would be in front of me. You know, there is a massive difference between what I'm doing now, which is essentially sitting in a very comfortable seat with a big V-twin engine throbbing just below me that just says, what's the hurry? and riding Mr. Suzuki, an inline 4 that just screams at you to go faster. And you know, whilst I've thoroughly enjoyed riding Mr. Suzuki over the last few weeks, sometimes you just want to relax and sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm not in any particular hurry here. And so I'm going to pull over at what viewers of previous videos will know is one of my favourite places. Kind of like a little personal power point where I like to hang around for 5 minutes and just recharge my spirits. U-Treat-On coming up just over the hill here. I'll have a stretch of the legs and compose myself for a day at work.